Okay, let me know if you can hear me, if the picture is clear, and if the lighting is okay. I'll wait to hear back. All good here. Okay, awesome. I don't know what the deal was. If you use streaming software, you have to, at least with the one I use, you have to email yourself a link, a guest link, in order to join the stream. So otherwise you would just see me talking. And since I use my camera for the lives, anyway, I don't know what was going on, but it wasn't letting me join and blah, blah, blah. So anywho, I am Marcee Rodgers. Thank you for being here today. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located outside of the Portland, Oregon area. And I took a break from doing YouTube lives because I was in the process of moving. It was just a local move, but I had to move all my craft stuff and set up and try to get functional. So I planned on going live last week, but I just needed more time. So I'm here this week and I am going to be using, of course, I already forgot the name of it because why not? The Snowman Magic Bundle. And one of the cards, and one of the reasons I'm doing the live is because of Patty, because Patty wanted to see me remake this card. So I will show you the original. I hope that's clear on your end. I think sometimes when you have a large monitor, or it's probably just me, the images from a distance don't seem quite as crisp. So we're going to recreate this. I did things just a tiny bit different this time as far as some of the cardstock colors. So we will go ahead and get started with this, and I will show you the bundle in the catalog. So this is actually a hidden item. I don't know if you can see that. Well, no, you cannot. I don't know why. If I bring it closer. Well, okay. So I'm not going to try to blind anybody with that. There are these super cute embossing folders, and they're the smaller ones. So they fit through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And they are called the Charming Landscapes Embossing Folders. I think I pulled them out. Well, I meant to. I've just got a hot pile of stuff over here. So these are what they look like. And I'm going to do 2 cards today. I was hoping to do 3, but I had been working most of the week on trying to make cards and nothing was looking right. So I only managed 2 for today. So I'm going to use both of those embossing folders, and my catalog is falling apart. It was funny. The other day I was talking to Jason and he was mentioning a stamp set, and he said it was on, let me see, he said it was on page, oh boy, oh, on page 46. It was this perched in a tree. And I'm looking through my catalog and I'm like, I don't see that bird set. Well, that's because this had flown out on the floor. Hey, Patty, I'm so glad to see you. We're going to make your card first. And I wanted to apologize. I was going to message you, but I missed your presentation today. I was working on trying to get cards ready for my live because I had so many issues trying to figure out cards earlier in the week. So I will go and watch the replay when I'm done. So the Charming Landscapes embossing folders are part of the Santa Express suite. Sorry for the glare, which is super duper cute. I do not have this yet. I just have these embossing folders. So I don't have the rest of the projects to show you. And then this, I don't know how well this is going to show. It's kind of hard for me to tell if it's clear on my end, but this is the bundle that I'm going to use today. And it's really cute because thank you to Tammy, Jason, and Patty, because there are sometimes dies and stamps that I just can't figure out. And I was wondering what these were. And they're both necklaces, which I never would have figured out. I thought maybe they were wonky lopsided buttons. So it's really cute because you can also make cards for different seasons. It doesn't just have to be for winter. So we're going to use that. And then it doesn't look like I marked the gingerbread. So it's on page 20. So I did use sorry, I was scarfing down lunch and grabbing something to drink. And so, oh, you can't see it very well here. And of course, I misplaced my dies. Even though I used them today, I don't know where I put them. So this is going to be pretty small, but in the die set, I wonder if they show it on the back now. Okay. In the die set, there's like this little hill, and that's what I used for the snow. But I'm also going to show you, if you don't have this die set or bundle, some other dies that we carry that you can use for snow. And can't tell. Okay, we're just going to put that aside. Okay, so let's see here. So this is the card we're going to remake. And I have all the little bits and bobs right here. Make sure I stay on screen. Yes, Patty, I knew that this was not going to run smoothly when I tried to stream. It's just, you know how it goes. And I was like, oh gosh, hopefully I remember how to do this since it's been a while. Okay, can you show the die for the snow? Yes, well, that's the thing, is it's from the gingerbread bundle, and I don't know where I put the dies. I had set everything aside that I used, and the only thing I can't find is the gingerbread. I mean, I'm sure they're right in front of my face, like most things I can't find. I'll look for them over here if you guys want to chat among yourselves. I have not taken the time to label all of my Stampin' storage embossing storage pockets. So a lot of times I have to end up looking through, just being super organized, trying to find the dies I'm looking for. I mean, they're probably going to end up, you know what? No, I did. Okay, I was trying to think. Maybe I didn't take them out of the original packaging, but I'm pretty sure that I did. Oh, I found them. Okay. Yep. See, they were just right up front. Okay, Patty. Oh, you did? Okay. So this is the gingerbread house dies, and this is the die that I used for the snow. It's just a hill. So, yeah. On the page that this bundle is on, though. Oh, hi, Anne. Thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad to be back. So yes, so the thing is that on the page in the catalog on page 20, they don't show any projects with this die. So you have to look at the bottom in the small bundle picture to even see the dies. So, Okay, so here we have our little pieces. And yes, I did adhere some things together because nobody wanted to see me fiddle-de-doo with all of that stuff. Now I have my silicone mat around here somewhere because I have stuff to glue and I was going to use that, but it has disappeared. Not to anyone's surprise. Okay, so this is, got something on it. This is one of the embossing folders from the Charming Landscapes. And you'll notice that this piece of paper is 4x4, and you'll notice I didn't quite get it all the way over right here, but that's okay because it's going to be covered up. I think 2 of the cards used. Oh, well, I didn't notice that that they were used on page 20. But there's a lot of things that I overlook. I mean, the glimmer paper that you showed us, that's the evening evergreen, and I think it's very vanilla and something else. Totally missed that in the catalog. So I didn't even see that. All right, so we have our panel. This card base is 4¼ by 4¼ so so it's 8½, and then scored in the middle. So we have that, and then these are my, can you see these? These are my, I know there's tape on them right now. I wanted to hold them in place. So these are the snowbanks that I cut with that die. And I did emboss them. I just don't want to lose this placement, because if you cut the die and you line up all of the shapes in this, laying the same way, you're not going to have like the ups and downs. So so I cut 3 pieces, and then I line them up the way I want. And this time I tape them together instead of gluing them and then changing my mind and thinking, well, I don't like that. Now, unfortunately, you can't see, you can see it better on the original card, I think. If you can kind of see these little lines. I embossed these with the cascading, is that what it's called? Cascading Ruffles 3D embossing folder, which looks like this. This is an annual catalog. Unfortunately, when I embossed it this time, it didn't show up much. And I think that's because I embossed first and cut second and smashed my embossing. So it didn't show up much on this one, but you know what? That's okay. So these are our 3 pieces. And we have our tree, which I changed to Early Espresso from Crumb Cake. And I changed the snowman, his arms, from Early Espresso to Crumb Cake. I think I got that right. And then I did 2 different bunnies. So you can choose which one you like better, the gray one or the brown one. All right, so I'm gonna need foam sheets, because one of the snowbanks is popped up on a foam sheet, or part of a foam sheet, so that I could stick the snowman behind it and the tree. So we'll go ahead and get this glued down. Now, where did I put, my Tombow was clogged. Oh, thanks, Anne. That's so sweet. You know, I actually sort of got the idea from Jason, because when the annual came out, he had mentioned about using it for waves. And so when I got the snowman set, I thought, oh, wow, I could use it on snow. That would be really cool. So yeah, it is kind of a, if this is clogged again, we're going to have a problem. I don't know why my Tombow keeps clogging. It's very strange. I've never had issues with it before. I might have to grab a new bottle, and this one's pretty full, so. But it is kind of an interesting folder as far as, you know, it's kind of, seriously. I mean, I can use contraband glue. I could just use my seal, but for some of my smaller pieces, that's not going to work. Well, I might have to try to grab a new bottle. Sorry, I hope I'm staying on screen. This is like my first time filming in this room, and I don't know, I'm just so out of practice. I think I need a bone folder. So I do have, yes, but Jason, I can't even tell you how much Jason helps me. Poor guy. I should probably give him credit for most of my cards today, because I was messaging him like all day. What should I do with this? What do you think of this? So good to have friends you can bounce ideas off of. Okay, so I do have a Stampin' Up! Bone folder. However, I used it yesterday to spread ink in my Versamark pad, and I haven't washed it off yet. Also, note to anybody who buys a Stampin' Up! Bone folder. Don't do what I did and use the black logo to burnish your paper. So the reason that I bought another one is because I had done that with my first one and it drove me crazy that I'd rubbed part of the logo off. So I just added another one to my couple orders ago. And I said to myself before I used it, don't rub the black part on your cardstock. Use the pointy end. What did I do? The first thing, rub the black logo over my white cardstock. So, issues. Okay, so we can put on our couple of our snow drifts. I guess I'm going to try this. But now I don't remember even where I had this one because what did I do? Yeah, see, this isn't. I untaped it. So now I don't know. Oh, for Pete's sake. See? I think, was this, I don't know if this one, welcome to my life. Maybe this went like this. Okay, you know what? That's just how we're going to do it because even though this one is backwards because the embossing is on this side. You know what? Who cares? No one's ever going to come back and watch my lives. Be like, wow. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put these on the card. And one of the things I changed this time too was on the original, because I had embossed all of the snowdrifts, I couldn't stamp directly on the white cardstock. So I just took a little piece, stamped on it, and then adhered it to the front, which I'm kind of not in love with, but you know, what do you do? Okay, so all of my craft supplies I used to be on one long table, and now I am on, my craft stuff is behind me. And so I forgot my scissors back there. Yeah, seriously, bone folders. I lose things all the time. And sorry, this thing on my scissors is making a clanging noise. This is from our springtime in Paris Love to Stamp group event that we had, and Melanie Hawken made these for us. And there's this really cute little Eiffel Tower on the end. So I put this on my scissors. I think that's what you're supposed to do with it. That's what I'm doing with it. And maybe I should have cut my foam strips beforehand. Wait, sorry, folks. But I love these foam sheets. So much better than having to put on 500 dimensionals. I mean, granted, they're not going to work for every single thing. Like, you know, the tree that I'm going to put on. I mean, if you wanted to really torture yourself, you could certainly try. It can be kind of difficult to put a foam sheet on something and try to die cut it. So normally I don't use it for that. Probably gonna have to trim a little bit off the edge here. See if that's straight. Okay, we have our drifts. Let's see, we're going to cut this off here. Okay. So I think I'm going to need, let me see if I can grab a new Tombow really quick over here. I'm not sure what is up with this other one. I mean, it unclogs for a little bit if I stick a pin in it, and then it just clogs back up. Okay, so here's our snowman. And I did his hat and scarf in Coastal Cabana. And I colored his nose with, probably, I don't know if you can tell, but he has a little bit of shading with dark pumpkin pie, and then light pumpkin pie is also on there. And then I shaded his side with light pool party, just to give him a little bit of dimension. So let's get him stuck in the snow. Seems like my other snow drifts are, boy, yeah, you can tell this one's fresh. Holy moly. Oh, my silicone mat. I just stuck my finger in the glue. Okay. I don't know why my other snow drift seems so high up, but you know, that doesn't matter. Okay, so we're just going to stick him right here. I mean, it's not supposed to be identical to the other card anyway, right? Oh, thanks, Anne. That's so sweet. And nobody can even tell that my one snowdrift is facing backwards. Close my glue for some reason. Okay, oops. Not used to using my silicone mat. So I did not adhere this tree all the way down. I just kind of let the branches just kind of do their own thing. So just gonna put that. This would have been a great die for the adhesive sheets. But per usual, I forgot to use them. So, and that's okay. Okay, so we have a choice of bunnies. We can do a brown, well, I don't know. Can you guys see? It's hard on my computer. I can't tell. It doesn't look like I'm very close to the camera. And I also can't tell if I'm clear to you guys, even though I have it on 1080. Can you guys see that okay? So there's Brown Bunny. He's waving at you, Jason. He says, thank you for helping today. And sticking to my finger. And there's Gray Bunny. What do you guys think? Here, I'll put them both on here and you can let me know. You like the brown. Jason likes the brown. Any other votes? And I will tell you something shocking about both of my cards today. They contain no embellishments. No embellishments on my cards today. So I'll wait. Gray. Gray, brown. Okay. Which side did I want? Okay. So I did not want to stamp directly on this snowdrift because I didn't have time to cut another one. So I just cut out a white piece of paper and figure I could cut it down, or I could just put it all the way across the bottom. So I could cut it thinner. I mean, I could put both bunnies on here. I didn't even think about that, but well, now I don't know what to do. Well, we did gray on the last card, on the original card, or kind of gray. So we'll do Brown Bunny today. Let's figure out though what I'm going to do with the sentiment. Do I want to put it straight across, which doesn't bother me too much, but the sides are extremely bare? Or should I cut it. Well, I can't really cut the slope right there. I'm too scared to stamp it on here, especially now that I put the foam sheet on. What do you guys think I should do? You could just add both bunnies and leave sentiment for inside. Leave the front sentimentless. Well, okay, we shall do that. It's kind of funny. It's like, I always feel like I have to have a sentiment on the outside of my card. Okay, so let's see, we do the bunnies. These bunnies are so cute. I just got to figure out. I don't know if I want him so close to the. Yeah, no embellishments on my cards, but you're welcome in advance for taking forever trying to figure out where I want to put the bunnies. Okay, we're going to put the brown one down there. Maybe. Now, I will say, if you're considering getting this stamp set, there are these trees right here that are super, super cute. They do not have a die and they all stamp together. So you would either have to fussy cut them out as a group or fussy cut them individually. I tried to use them, but it was just too much fussy cutting for the moment. So I wonder if, I don't know where to put the other. Okay, we need tweezers here. Okay, maybe I'll pop him up right there. Find a couple mini dimensionals. Well, what in the? Okay, that one has no stick whatsoever. That's very strict. Oh, it just took the paper off of the backing with it. Okay, we'll pop him up. In front-ish. Tuck him next to the snowman. Okay, so you mean like here? Isn't he? Then he's too much in line with the other bunny, don't you think? I know. Help. Tuck him next. Jason, can you move to Oregon, please? Should I just do him like that? I like the bunny hiding in the snowbank. Okay, so like here. Just shove him way down in there like that. We only see his ears. I just don't want him to line up too much with the other bunny. Okay, we'll tuck him way down there. Why not? It'll be a nice little surprise. Somebody will be finding the bunny when they get the card. Let's see its little tail. All right, so there we go. And we have, I already glued the other bunny down, Jason. You know me. Well, I mean, okay, now what do I do with it? It didn't stick, so we're in luck. Where do you want me to put him? You know I'm not, I forget not to stick. Should we just leave him like that? I think it looks cute. We'll leave him like that for now. And then I will, okay, so move the gray one back in front of the snowman, tucked. Okay, so like this. People are going to be like, does she even know what she's doing? And then just move the brown bunny. Well, move him where? Up here, down there? You're not telling me where to move him. Maybe I should die cut like 5 more bunnies. And just have a bunny heyday. We hide him in the snowbank. And then if I decide to put a sentiment on, it can go down there. Okay. We're going to roll with it before people start signing off. Okay, so there is card 1. He's not sticking very well, so he's just kind of doing his own thing. Okay. So let's set that aside. And then the next card I'm going to make uses the other. Oh, I forgot I was going to show you. Okay, let me do that first. I was going to show you, if you don't have these dies, other dies you can use to make snowbanks. So you can use, on this card, this is what I used. Not the zigzag one. So these are the basic border dies, and I just used this one to make a couple snowbanks, and actually 3. And what you can do with them is, instead of cutting them all just the same shape, you can angle your die on the paper so you can have more height on one side than the other. And then I cut them on a longer, or from a longer piece of paper than the width of my card, because that way I can kind of move them around and get the different height variants. So you can use basic borders. Hi, Jim. Thanks for joining. Yeah, you know, work, it's always getting in the way. You can use the layering dioramas. There's different sizes, and you can use any of them, but just different, you know, cut different spots. And if you cut that off, that can be your snowbank. And then you can layer the different sizes, or just flip it to the other side and layer that with it. So you can definitely use those for your snow bank. And you could also use the Inspiring Canopy dies and use this. So this one may be a little bit harder because it doesn't have as much height variant, but you could definitely make it work. And if you wanted, you can even use this bottom piece and just cut the trees off if you wanted. So those are some other options. And then, as I mentioned, I embossed with the cascading ruffles on my first card. If you do not have the cascading ruffles, you can use the painted texture embossing folder, which looks like this. You can use this for your snow. Sorry, I don't think that worked very well. So you can use that for your snow if you want. If you don't have that, or you would like to try something different, you can use the splatters from Stripes and Splatters embossing folders. These are, I think both of these are 3D. Yes, those are both 3D embossing folders. And that's what the splatters look like. So these both work for embossing snow if you want to add some texture to your snow. It doesn't need to have embossing, but if it's something that you want to try, it gives a fun look to your snow. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. So some of you might remember a while back, I was talking about how I can't remember what I was trying to cut, but I kept messing up on my trimmer and didn't have the arm out, and I kept cutting it 6 instead of 6.5. And so I had a ton of basic gray cardstock that I had butchered by cutting it wrong. I think it was 9 pieces of letter size basic gray. So I thought, well, why don't I make a card with one of those smaller card bases? So it's kind of like a mini slimline, but I didn't really care for the gray too much. So I decided I'll do it in a white one. So that accident ended up being kind of a happy accident, because it gave me an idea for making my next card. Well, I was looking for the, sorry you guys. Hopefully next week I'll be more organized. I do not know where I put the original. And mini slimlines they're fun. And for me, so if you have seen any of my cards, I like very clean and simple cards. So my cards usually have some kind of focal image and a lot of white space. These stamps are on the smaller scale, and I found them kind of difficult to use on a typical A2 size card. So Jason had suggested to me yesterday to try doing something on a smaller scale, which I did. And that helped me tremendously be able to still fill the space enough, but still have enough open space. So these are the snowbanks that I cut from the, what were they called again? Basic Borders. So you can see they're kind of taped together in an odd way, but that's because that's how I wanted them to lay on the card, and I didn't want to lose that. So, and then of course they're a lot longer so that I could just cut them off after I adhered the, actually I think I'm going to stick them to the panel and then trim them from the panel. So, and then I will untape them. Now let's see. I'll probably get glue where I may not need it, but that's okay. Now let's see, silicone mat. And wherever the original of this card went, I don't know. I only made it yesterday and I looked at it again today, but I was kind of struggling with, I can't remember if I put this all the way down. Well, we're just going to stick it like this. Struggling with the blue just being so bright on the card. And so once again, Jason said, what about some white splatters? So that's why we have white splatters on this one, which I think looks, I think it saved the card. Okay, so we're just going to let those stick for a minute. And I just made sure, I mean, I laid these on my card before I taped them together to make sure I liked the placement and that, you know, obviously this area wasn't going to be showing on the card. So hopefully I can cut this straight. On the original one, I used foam tape, and yeah, that card was a struggle. I kept having to trim it down and trim it down. Well, let me tell you, foam sheets are not easy to cut through in your filing cabinet. Yes. Oh, Lordy. Okay. Oh, well, hot dog. This little guy is showing a bit of blue through the paper, but you know what? He'll probably get covered up by a tree. So there are the snowbanks on that one. That is not supposed to be there. So I left enough room here to, yeah, I probably did, Jason. I probably threw him in my trash can. I mean, of course, I've got every other card laying around that I don't need, so now I've just got to wing it. Okay, so let's put our little snowman together. I was kind of surprised they didn't have a die for those 3 trees, just because they have a die for everything else in this set. Well, except for a snowbank, but. So the trees that I used are actually from the, did I put the stamps out? There they are. It's actually from, it's this tree from the Sweet Gingerbread stamp set. And this tree does have a die cut, so that's why I used that one. And there's some cute little accessories in here. Has anybody tried these accessories on our penguin? I have not tried it yet, so I don't know how well they fit. Just in my head, it seems that the penguin is a bit larger than the snowman. Wait, didn't I have arms for this guy? Wow. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't get arms. Okay. Guess he doesn't get arms. And then I have the 3 trees here. So these trees, originally I stamped them just in Old Olive, but I wanted something with a bit more texture. So I used my blending brushes and I blended Old Olive on the stamp, and then I blended some shaded spruce on. So I did use 2 different brushes because shaded spruce is pretty dark. So it kind of saturated. I've used that brush quite a bit. So, and then I just stamped and I just put it in random places. So I thought they turned out pretty cool. And you could totally wink of Stella them, but I didn't do that. And I don't know, can you guys see the embossing folder detail? This is just part of it because it is a longer embossing folder. This is just the part I chose to use. I don't think I can get anything over there far enough to fix that non-white space, but oh well. Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, I know he doesn't have to. I cut so many arms. I lost one when I was making cards the other day. I lost an arm. Excuse me, for my snowman. And I have this little magnetic thing that I, excuse me, keep my dies on when I'm die cutting standing at the machine. And I had lost one of the arms I cut, so I just grabbed one of the arms off of my magnetic die holder. And I didn't really pay attention that the arms, there's actually a left and a right. It's going on the, yeah, see, Jason, you're so smart. What would I do without you? Let's see, what is that? Yeah, I don't know. It's not going to bother me that much. So the arms, there's a right and a left arm. And so I cut the wrong arm, stuck it on my snowman and went, what the heck is going on here? Why does he look like he's struggling? That was why. Because I had given him the wrong arm for that side of the body. Oh, I forgot I didn't have him glued in yet. It's just free roaming snowman. So, speaking of free roaming, here's a story I find funny that other people might not. So my son is really into video games, and we used to play a lot of Lego video games when he was younger. We played them together. And he also loved Mario, Super Mario. So in kindergarten, he was talking to this boy in class, and they were talking about Yoshi. And if you're not familiar with Mario or Yoshi, Yoshi is this green dinosaur in the game. And this boy was telling him that Yoshi was owned by Luigi. And my son was very upset about this. And he told the boy, he is not. Yoshi is a free roaming dinosaur. And he was so bent out of shape about that. We had to have a conversation after school. I mean, it was just like a whole thing. So to this day, remember, Yoshi is a free roaming dinosaur. I think I'm going to pop this up. I should probably adhere this to the card base first, though, so that I don't end up in a pickle. I know, kids are so funny. Some of the things kids say, they just, oh my gosh, they just crack me up. I love kids. Absolutely love kids. I couldn't have said that, oh, Marcee. I could not have said that when I was younger. I didn't babysit. I didn't like kids. I didn't like babies. I wasn't going to have children. And needless to say, I have two, and I am everybody's second mom. I can't tell if this is where I'm at here. And my door was always revolving. Everybody was welcome. If anybody needed a place to stay, they were welcome at my house. And I just love being a mama. And my son just turned 18 in April. My daughter will be 21 in September. And she recently, I don't know, 6 months ago, moved into her own place. And fortunately, she's only about 8 minutes from where I live now. Previously, she was 30 minutes. And so that was really hard for me. And my son still lives at home here. So I get to see him all the time, which is great because I'm really close to my kids and my cats. Well, and my husband too, but my cats are being very well behaved. They are sleeping right now. I thought for sure they were going to be up and all over the place. Get your son the Lego Bowser TV. I saw that there is a TV. Is it a TV, Jim? Or I think it's a TV that has like the Super Mario Bros. And maybe, is it an NES console too? Like a little Lego one? I can't remember. He really wants that new roller coaster though. And his dad is telling me, no, you can't get him any more Legos because he has so many Legos and a lot of them aren't built. And, you know, I mean, they're not exactly easy to move either. Lord have mercy. So, because I mean, if you're moving, I mean, Legos aren't, you can't pack them really. I mean, and keep them together. I mean, unless you're going to super glue the parts. So, but he really wants the roller coaster. All right, Jason, let me see if I can try your tip here. I mean, like, really? What? Do you think it looks too low in the snow? I know, Jim. That's what I said. I was like, what? Too many Legos. Legos are life. I love Legos. I want to own all the Legos. I want the original Millennium Falcon, which will probably never happen. But, you know, that guy's stuck. Just wondering if I should move him over a little. I'll move him there. Make you a triangle-ish. Is that triangle-y enough? Move your front one. Okay. We should call this card making with Jason and Marcee sometimes. Okay, I feel like if I move this one, it's too in line. And what am I kind of like him more over here. So you need to go up higher. Hot dog, folks. Well, if anything, move front back since you moved the back one. Move front back. Like behind this, like that. If anything from this channel, you can learn what not to do. Got lots of tips for you there. Okay, like that, Jason? Does that look okay? Let me go down a little farther. Does it look all right? And then I just cut this. It's 1/2 inch by, so this is three wide. Let me get out my smart ruler. Oh, sorry for the noise. Let's see here. So this is 1/2 inch by 3 7/8. And I just heat embossed it with white. And that's another thing I learned this week too. So I was having a problem with my white embossing powder. Every time I would heat it, it would almost turn transparent. Patty told me to shake my white embossing powder, which I did. And as you can see, it is white. Originally, I had heat embossed this in silver, but I think the white looks better. So yeah, I agree, Jason. I think it does. I think it pops more. So super simple for the most part. No bling, just some white paint splatters and die cutting. So those are the cards I have for you today. I'm sorry I don't have a third as I normally do. I struggled with this bundle all week, and it's not because there's anything wrong with the bundle. It's because there's something wrong with me being able to use small stamps. So, and Patty had showed us in our group live that we have every Tuesday, a slimline card, a full-size slimline card that she made with this stamp set. And yeah, I mean, blew it out of the water. Me over here putting things in my trash bin left and right. It was rough, Jason. It was really rough. Shaker, shaker. Yeah, that would be a really good idea, Patty. You know what? I have never made a shaker card because I'm always afraid I am going to mess it up. So I guess I will have to branch out and try a shaker card. Ooh, yeah, the sequins, Jason. Those are really pretty. I wonder what are the embellishments called that go with the, I don't think this is the name of the punch. Is it the vintage bottle punch? And we can buy the domes and put the effervescent something. I wonder what those would look like in a shaker. I agree, Anne. That was another suggestion that Jason said was like make gift packaging. Oh, yes. shaking the embossing powder. I'm telling you, I never would have thought of that. I thought I was going insane. And here I had 2 embossing powders that were, embossing halfway transparent. And I mean, I kept checking to make sure I wasn't using the sticky powder anyway. So yes, that worked wonders. And yes, and that's also something Jason suggested, gift packaging and tags. And I think they would be really, really great for that. And that's something I have to keep in mind for the smaller scale stamps, at least for how I create. So anyway, let me find right, here it is. Let me find the other card we made. So these are the 2 cards from today. Hopefully you can see them. I really like the 2 bunnies. That's cute. I wouldn't have thought to put 2 bunnies on there. I think I figured something out about myself, and that is that I need to create a card one time, and then I need to go back in and make adjustments when I make the second card. I mean, sometimes I get cards made and I like them right away, but for these 2 cards, I like the second versions better than I like the first versions. So I am excited but scared to try and use this. I'm about the big, I know, Jason, because we have such a similar style, but I'm really excited to see what you do with it because you are very artistic and I think you're going to make some really awesome cards. And you've given me a lot of tips on how to use these stamps, so you might be set. Thanks, Tammy, and thank you everyone for joining me. I really appreciate you coming back after my hiatus, and I will be back next week, same time, same place, with 3 new cards, but I have yet to decide which bundle or suite I am going to use. So if you want to give me some input and leave some suites or bundles in the comments, and if I have it, I will try and use that for next week. I missed you too, Jim. I'm hoping I can still come see you guys in August. I'm really excited. I need to bug Chris again. Thank you, Anne. It was so nice to have you here. Thanks so much for stopping in and for being a part of the hot mess that is usually my live. Hey, Heather, I didn't see you sneak in. You know, honestly, that just came to me today when I was going through dies with the diorama dies. I was just going through and seeing what dies I had that could kind of make hills. And I was like, ooh, these diorama dies would work because they are kind of a unique die. So I haven't tried it yet, but I am gonna try it. So anyway, thank you everybody again for joining. I really appreciate it. I hope you will stop back in next week. And Heather, I will see you at 6. And I'm really excited to watch. Can't wait to see what you have. So thank you everybody so much again, and I will see you next week, hopefully. Bye-bye.